everyone, it's Emily Fox. Today's video is going to be all about the books that I'm hoping to read during the month of August. I feel like I'm starting to feel the pressure because summer is about to end, and in September it's when I start including more mystery, thriller, horror books. So I'm trying to finish some of the series. So this whole month is pretty much dedicated to big books. Most of the books I'm going to be reading or attempting to read are big, so we're just gonna embrace it and see how that goes. So I'm going to start with the classic that we are meant to read for the Patreon book club for July, August, and it is Anna Karenina, which I still have yet to start, which I have the audiobook, so it might help a little bit. It's obviously super chunky. I'm gonna be honest, I'm terrified of it. And my edition is 800 pages, so right there, that's gonna keep me busy for most of the month, but I'm not going to be nervous because a lot of you told me that this is super readable. I believe the chapters are pretty short too, so I always find that pretty motivating, but my edition, you can see the writing is tiny. So yeah, I'm terrified of Russian classics, but who isn't? So that's the first one, the whole, romance, social commentary, but mostly I want to know. I've seen the movie, but I don't know how accurate it is of an adaptation. So yes, the second book is our monthly pick for the Patreon book club, and it is a... Just kidding, turns out that it lost like 5 minutes after I finished filming the video, so we're gonna fix it, and it's gonna be Bloodchild by Octavia E. Butler. This is a short story collection. It completely ruins the theme of this video, but who cares? I've been wanting to read this one because first off, Octavia E. Butler. Second of all, I'm pretty sure this is the one that contains a story where there's an alien invasion, but it's the men that end up pregnant. I've been looking forward to this, okay, for years, and I'm trying to read all of her books, so this is going to be our pick for the month of August. Let me not forget one of my challenges this month. I am doing this because of you. I'm literally going to call this Booktube made me do it. This is Fourth Wing, which is an adult fantasy. A lot of people have corrected me and told me that this is probably more new adult, that it's kind of YA reading with... So we'll see how that goes. I am absolutely terrified. In my defense, a lot of you were asking me in the comment section, are you going to read it? Blah, blah, blah. It's really popular. I kept seeing it. I was like, you know what? I'll pick it up because magic and dragons, that's cool. I'm going to pick it up. And it's only after I ordered it that I realized that the author usually writes like spicy romance books. And I was like, oh, maybe that was a mistake. And now that I've mentioned it in my July book haul, everyone is telling me I'm going to hate it. So this is it. I'm going to read it and vlog the experience. I don't know how far into it I will make it after hearing your thoughts, but I'm going to go into it with really low expectations and just hope for the best, like light fun. Yeah, we're just going to end that here. Hopefully I can focus on the dragons and forget about the romance. I don't hate every romance, but the way you guys have been describing have made me so nervous, but it's a thick one. If I read the whole thing, it's definitely a thick one. It's like 500 pages, but look at the size. I can do this. I mean, if I'm enjoying it, I can do this. So yeah, I'm trying not to add too many books to my TBR because they're always ridiculous, but I want to try and focus on the big ones that I tend to neglect when I get overwhelmed. Speaking of which, series, like I said, a big book and a series. I mean, it's not that big. It's almost 500 pages. But this is the last book in the Neapolitan Quartet, The Story of the Lost Child. I need to know how this whole series is going to end. I'm currently reading book 3, but I'm sure I'm going to have time to finish it before the end of the month. So I need to know. Long story short, you have these two women. One of them disappears. They're in their, I believe it was 60s, but that's happening in the first book, so I don't remember exactly. But this woman decides to write her life story and her friend's life story, their friendship, and hopes that that will bring back her friend from wherever she is. And it's been a roller coaster of emotion. I feel like I used to read a lot of books like that, kind of literary fiction, very dramatic with some romance, some like historical fiction portions too. And I like the mystery of the fact that the author, nobody knows who she is. I thought it had been discovered. I think just people think that it's a translator. Either way, I think the whole mystery enveloping this whole thing makes it even more interesting. But yes, I really like the commentaries that the author makes about the whole like female experience. And yes, I need to finish a series. If I read 3 books of a series in 1 year, I would be so happy. So that's the last one. I'm also supposed to um, read my pile of shame, because every summer I try to do a video like that, and in July I did not have time. So I have a few options. You did tell me you really wanted me to read City of Brass, which is an adult fantasy. I know I gave up on it 50% into it, and I think that was after 2 tries. Like, I had gotten the audiobook twice from the library, but I've since realized that fantasy don't really work for me that well as audiobooks. So I do have a physical copy. I'm realizing I forgot to grab it, and I'm afraid to go and look for it, but I do have it somewhere, and I'm hoping to get to that one. It won't be the first one that I read, but I will include it in the challenge because it was requested. I might get the audiobook of this one. And this is why I decided to partially push it back to August, is that I have the audiobook of that one on my library waiting list, and I had issues with Libby. Anyone else? And they just remove a bunch of the books. Like, when I didn't click yes or no, they just removed them instead of putting them back on the waiting list. Anyway, so I had to go back at the end of the waiting list, and I still had like 10 weeks in the beginning of July. So I'm hoping that, actually, I can check. Hopefully that I can still read this. Let me double check. Otherwise, I will have to find something else, which I probably have other ones that I'm in the middle of. How far? Oh my god, I have to scroll way too far. This is not good. Where is it? Okay. It's currently saying 6 weeks. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. We'll see, but that's an option. I definitely want to try to get around to reading this. Otherwise, I do have Trust of the Emerald Sea by, again, Brandon Sanderson on my pile of shame. I'm about 30% into it. I have been since the month of January. I started this book January 1st, and this is why I want to make this a priority for my challenge, even though I could focus on the older ones on my pile of shame, which, by the way, pile of shame is just the books that I started and never finished, if that wasn't clear already. But yes, I just feel like I need to finish it before the end of the year. Otherwise, it's just bad karma. Okay, not that I believe even in karma, but I feel like that just, I need to finish it. I do have a few other options. I realized that I started tomorrow. I had the ARC, the advanced reader copy of this one, and it got archived midway through it, and I've since seen pretty meh reviews about it, but I was okay with it so far. I just never finished, and I feel like I didn't get to make a decision. Like, it was done for me. I didn't get to make the decision, So yeah, that's an option. If not, I will probably go on Goodreads. I probably have a bunch of books that I'm currently reading for, for the last 4 years. But that's the point of the pile of shame, so, gotta mix it up. But yes, I'll probably pick like 2-3 books throughout the month and in a reading vlog try to finish them. The ones that I started years ago, like City of Brass, I will start from 0 because I forgot too much. But Trust of the Emerald Sea, I remember it. It was January 1st. Not that much had happened, to be honest. I have received an ARC that I really want to read, so I think I'm gonna sneak it in. I don't remember exactly when the book comes out. I want to say October, but you know how I mentioned Legends and Lattes? Everyone loves it, myself included, and there's a prequel coming out soon, and I got an ARC, so of course I want to read that. It's called Bookshops and Bone Dust, and like I said, it's a prequel, so the main character, so it happens beforehand, but it's still supposed to be like cozy fantasy in a small town and like bookshop. Of course I want to read that. So yeah, that's going to be probably, I'll try to maybe do a vlog with it. I'll read Can't Spell Tea Without Treason and that one. That would be a lot of coziness all in one. I'll probably have an audiobook that I could also listen to and, make it a fun week. Calm, relaxing after all the pile of shames and the read it or unhaul it, because once again, I'm trying to do it every month. It's a pain in the butt, but I do want to do it because I'm cleaning up my shelf. It's been a lot, but this month for me in July, it was so hectic, but I got rid of a lot of books, so there's that. What else? I probably have a few audiobooks, but first off, I'm currently reading this nonfiction. I'm finally back to reading a few pages of a nonfiction book every day, which, why did I stop? I'm trying not to force myself whenever I'm not feeling it, but I started this one. This is Men Who Hate Women, the extremism nobody's talking about. And it's about like the incel movement and pickup artists, men's rights activists, men going their own way, just the extreme sexism that is going through. And I thought that this was like well known, but I'm realizing that not everyone is on the internet too much and they don't necessarily know as much, but I feel like it's starting to definitely be talked about a lot more. I feel like with the whole like shootings and the like terrorism attack, People are starting to know a little bit more, and like with the whole like Andrew Tate thing, it's getting more and more known, but it's terrifying. I feel like I have some friends that teach in school, and they're saying that some of the boys, they're literally boys, are starting to repeat this stuff without knowing anything about it. Like they don't understand it, they just repeat it. It's horrifying. But yes, I'm going to be reading this. Essentially, I just started. I'm like 24 pages into it, but she decided to infiltrate some of these forums and chats, and she includes some quotes. So do be warned, this is not, she mentions it, this is not a censored book, and some of the quotes are disgusting. There's just no other way of describing them. So yeah, I'm slowly going through it because I don't want to binge read that. I don't think you can binge read that, to be honest. Otherwise, I do have a few challenges that I'm hoping to do, but I think I'm going to keep them a secret in case I don't have time to read all of these. And I have a few audiobooks, but I'm realizing that with Anna Karenina, I might not have time, but I still have Know My Name on my list. It has been there literally all year straight up. I have The Measure, and I'm realizing I have a few like mystery thrillers, but I might keep them for September because again, I want to try to, this was one of my goals this year, to try and find any mystery thriller horror books that would work for me. If you have any suggestions, please leave them in the comment section. I'll try to get like a few different sources and like make a few different challenges this fall to try and find some favorites. It's going to be my mission. But yeah, I think we're going to stop here for the TBR. A lot of really big books this month, you know, like Anna Karenina is definitely the biggest monster, and then a lot of like big books in series if I have time to get to all of them, and then of course this possibly cringy book. Thick book. So that's going to be it for my August TBR. Please let me know in the comment section if you have read any of these and if I should focus on them. Let me know which books you are hoping to read during the month of August. Any books you're trying to sneak in before the end of summer. I feel like summer ends in August. Like I know technically most of September is summer, but it's not, you know? September is fall, okay? I'm getting ready. I have 3.5 black cats. Like I am so ready for fall. Thumbs up, subscribe. I will be putting more videos on the screen that I recommend you check out, and I will be seeing you in a coming video very soon. Bye.